Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And welcome to this new video in which I wanted to discuss something a little bit different, and that is my long-term views on Bitcoin. I wanted to make a video kind of talking about both the technicals and the fundamentals of basically where we are right now in the cycle. All right, we have reached a point both in sentiment but also in price where people are starting to doubt whether this could be the start of a bear market, and that the bull market was actually what we have seen since last year October all the way into March of this year, potentially a little bit longer depending on how you look at it. But I have my own thoughts on that. I have my own predictions on that as well. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and then we'll also talk about some important levels which we need to break. Some important structures that we would need to break to actually continue this bull market, because I think it's safe to say that for the majority of the last 2 months it hasn't felt like a bull market, at least. That doesn't necessarily mean it's no longer a bull market, but still. So that's what I wanted to do, and for that I think we have to start with the fundamentals. Personally, I like technical analysis a lot, all right, and it's also the main tool, not necessarily, but it's one of the main tools, of course, I use in trading and investing crypto as well. But I think the fundamentals are always more important. So then what you have to ask yourself is that, all right, well, if you look at the market structure right here on the 3-day time frame, and we remove some things so you can see it a bit better, we've seen quite a lot of more bearish momentum, and we've been making lower highs and lower lows technically. So then you have to ask yourself, all right, well, is there a reason fundamentally as to why more people are going to buy Bitcoin, or as to why in general that shift in demand and supply is going to change? And in my opinion, the answer is yes. And that's also my prediction. My prediction in general is that the bull market is not over yet, and that we will make higher highs. We'll talk a little bit later about where I think those higher highs will go in terms of my bull market top price target. But I do think so. I mean, if you look at the fundamental situation for crypto, listen, there's a lot of things we can say about it, and we can talk about retail not really rejoining crypto, for example, even though I think that's a little bit false, but all right. It has been less so than the last bull market. That's true, all right. But I think when we look at several factors, so for example, the Bitcoin dominance, which has always been bearish in a bull market. All right, so for example, right here, 2017, very bearish. Or if we look at this, 2021, very bearish. And then if we look at the Bitcoin dominance so far, it has only been bullish. There could be different reasons for that, but I choose to see that as a reason, or at least as an indication that this will still reverse at some point of time, probably from a bit higher. I think 60 cents is the magic level, and that after that we will still see some sort of an altcoin season, and with that a bull market, because a dropping Bitcoin dominance does not mean that Bitcoin is not going higher. It just means that all altcoins are going higher. Then we have the political situation in the US, with Trump still leading the polls. I think that's very bullish, but I also think, let's assume that Harris is going to win here. It does seem to me, or at least it feels to me as though there's more of a pro-crypto sentiment from both parties. There's a lot of rumors, and the chance is very high that Gary Gensler is going to be fired at some point of time in the next year or so. So that's fundamentally, with the US still being the biggest market for crypto, is very bullish. And then lastly, this week we have the inflation rate numbers. What I want to say with that is that it seems like the inflation rate across the world, the Western world in this case at least, is dropping down as well, which makes place for lower interest rates. And if interest rates are lowering, that frees up a lot of capital that's available to other capital markets. And I still think the crypto market is a very attractive option. So fundamentally, I do think we will still have a continued bull market. Excuse me, wow. But then if we're looking at the market structure right now, as I also tried to point out here, and we talked about earlier, we are making lower highs and lower lows. So then this situation, and for that I want to zoom out to the weekly time frame again, I would say like when we're talking about ultimate levels, like these levels have to hold in order for this bull market to sustain, I'm looking at two levels. The first one is this major support level we have right here between 52, which we almost hit last Friday, and 48. I think that's a massive support level. When we're looking at the structure right here, I would say that's the ideal level to hold, but I would go a little bit further, and that's also in line with the Elliott wave theory. That if we drop down towards 43 and this zone around 43, where we also basically between like 46 and 43, where you also have the 0.618 fib of this whole move up, and you have some strong technical support, I would say we can also drop down there and still be in a bullish market structure, which is obviously what we want to hold. If that level fails to hold, and if we get some sort of an indication that we do something like this, and this level is not able to provide support and is not able to hold up the price, then we have to start to talk about a bear market. Because then technically it's you can just no longer convince yourself, or at least not easily, that we are still in a bull market. But so far, like I said, as long as we're above that level at 44, 43, we're fine. I think, technically at least. Because if you look at some sort of an Elliott wave theory, I think the best way to draw the impulses of this wave up is like this, and that would mean that right now we're in the fourth wave. So like I said, with that support level as well, that does mean that we can still see bearish momentum in the short term and the longer term, but ultimately the market structure remains bullish until proven otherwise, right? Is that possible that it gets proven otherwise? Yes. But I, with those fundamentals in mind, would really need to see a big bearish breakout before I would be convinced by that. So then also, if we look at the Elliott wave theory and we look at this move that we had, for example, with the third wave, was about 200%. If you're looking at the fourth wave, assuming we'll hold a level around 48 cents or something, what I would get to as a price target is somewhere around that 100,000 mark. Do I think we can go higher? Yes, it's a possibility. But I would, when we get to those levels at 100,000 or maybe a bit higher towards 125 or something, I will sell off a big portion of my holdings, just as a bit of a disclaimer. So yeah, I think those are my thoughts. So if we're looking at the short term, I don't see enough indication at this point of time yet that we have bottomed out the fourth wave. So I do think we're going lower on the short term towards a level around 50 and 48, potentially going all the way down to that level around 44. But from there, which I would estimate would be somewhere in October, maybe November, late November at the very latest, I think we would see a bounce. A return of more bullish market circumstances, which is already good, and then somewhere towards December, January, February, I would say we're getting into this move. That is at least my prediction and my thoughts for now, based on, like I said, the fundamentals I think are happening in the next couple of months, together with the my outlook on the technical situation right now. So those are my thoughts. If you do have any questions on that, of course, let me know down in the comments. Also, make sure to join our Telegram and Discord groups. They're free to join. A lot of value shared in there, especially in the Discord group right now, where I'm sharing daily watch lists in terms of coins. So check that out if you want to. Obviously, it's not necessary, but like I said, there's value in there. Hopefully, I'll speak to you in there. For now, that's what I wanted to say. For now, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend, and bye.